there's this thing called the meeting before the meeting. Have you ever heard of that? The guys in the room, you know the meeting before the meeting? You know the one where you call somebody on your team, you know there's a big meeting tomorrow or maybe today, 2 o'clock, and you call one of the other guys on your team and you're like, hey Joe, we got this big meeting and so I've got some data here. What's your position on that? Guys do it all the time. All the time. And the bigger the title and the bigger the pay band, the more that goes on. And women don't even know this goes on. We have no idea this goes on. One day it happened to me. I read about this in the Wall Street Journal probably 7 years ago, the meeting before the meeting. And a few months later it happened to me. I get this phone call at my desk, and this director calls me and says, hey Elizabeth, we got this meeting tomorrow. I know you have some data. And he literally said that. What's your position on this? And I said, well, I'm going to present the data, and these are the things I'm going to say, and my position is, you know, this is our plan to move forward. He was afraid that the data that I had would turn back on him in an unfavorable light, and it was gonna. The data I had, I didn't have to say a word. I could just present the numbers, and it was gonna go right back on him. And he wanted to know what my position was. What was I gonna do with that data? Could I damage him? Could I hurt his credibility? Now, isn't that interesting? The woman had the power and had the data. And so I was like, no, of course not. I got to deliver the data because the numbers are the numbers, but here's probably why you weren't able to do your end of it. Here's my plan moving forward. And you could hear the relief in his voice. And he goes, oh, okay, great. All right, see you at the meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay, great. I had no idea what was going on. That's the meeting before the meeting. A couple weeks ago, at my own work, similar situation. There was somebody that I was having a real tough time with, and it happened to be a male. But I knew the vice president, and I knew we were all going to be on this meeting the next day. And I wanted to let the vice president know why I wasn't going to be speaking and what he could expect in the meeting. Because normally, I drive and run the meetings. So I picked up the phone, I called the vice president, I said, hey, there's going to be this meeting tomorrow, Dave. So-and-so is going to be on the call. I just wanted to let you know what you can expect. And I'm going to tend to be a little bit quiet because he needs to drive it. And this is what's going on. I didn't get into politics, that I didn't get along with the individual. I didn't get into any kind of semantics. But I wanted him to know and to kind of plant the seed that I needed some support, that I wanted some support, and that I was going to be unusually quiet. And he totally knew what I was saying. And he said, as long as we're talking, off the record, there's a possibility I may get a promotion in this other department. And it hasn't been announced, and I'm in final interview. And I said, oh, that's great. That's really fantastic. And then I remembered I actually had a little problem in that department with some other leaders. That my perception, like on the slides, my perception was that I wasn't performing. However, I had very strong data that I was performing very strongly, but they had feelings and no facts. And now, if this guy is going to be promoted to vice president over there, where I'm having some trouble, this is my opportunity to say, hey, I could use some support. And you know what? I was bold and I did it. I said, hey, Dave, you're going to go work in this other department? He said, yeah, I am. I said, yeah, I got to tell you something a little off the record, and they've got a perception about me that isn't true. And I'm going to be honest, I can't get back in there. I can't get my arms around it. I can't fix it. I want to help. I'm coachable. I know what I can do for them, but they've got their mind made up. If you get promoted over there, I flat out said it. Would you help me? Would you support me? Would you just in one meeting say this one thing? Hey, have you run it by Elizabeth? Just float that out there, even if what comes back negative. I want them to know that I'm willing, I'm able, and I'll help them. I'll partner with them for whatever reason they don't want to partner with me, and I can help them. And he said, absolutely done. That's the meeting before